Welcome back to the Blissful Badger. How is everyone this evening? Just making sure everything's running smooth. Yep, everything's good. Yay. Alright. So tonight, I am interested in building my new mandrakes. So in the Nightmare Kill Team box, you get 2 triple sprues that are identical to build the 10 models. And I don't actually have the manual, but they are numbered in a way that you can follow along without having to worry about it. Other than the weapon option, arms, there's a few different weapons for the different models. So I think it's one of those, just start snipping, and when you get to a duplicate, like 5 and 4 are both heads, shouldn't be that hard to figure out that there are 2 options. So, let's see. Get some close-ups real quick first. So, I'm actually going to go to this so that you can see a little bit better, and focus should be good. So that's the first of the 3 sprues. The second of 3. And the third section. So a couple of different weapon options and everything. I'm going to build at least 5 of them tonight. Depending on how long they take, I might build all 10. If they take anything as long as the Orc Ludas from last week, it's only going to be 5. So, let's see. I think that's decent for Zoom at the moment. I can change it if you want to see more of the table. So I'm going to just go through and snip out 1 through however many, and when I get to duplicates, I'll put them next to each other, and when I start getting to extra bodies and stuff, I'll know that it's time for the next one. Sometimes models are numbered this way, and sometimes they're just a whole bunch of options on a sprue. This one's numbered and they're in order, so that's always nice. But that's what I expect from 2024 GW. decided on head 5 instead of head 4. But I'm still going to cut 4 out and put it over here. Oh, and if anyone's wondering, I was just basing some Star Wars Legion, and it, you know, you get a little bit on you. Alright, that's number 6, and it's a right arm. Seven is a left with a blade. Eight is a sickle in a left. And 9 is another blade in a left. Those are dark. Hold on. Let me move everything up a little bit. And 11 is a flaming sword. And 10's another head. So, did I just go too far with these? Alright. Aha. Alright. So 11 and 12 are a two-handed blade. And then 13 starts the next body, and there's a head 16, so I'm wondering if these are all different single-hand weapon options, and that's a single-hand weapon option, and then this is the two-handed sword option character. So maybe I do need to look up the instructions before I actually get building these. So give me a moment while I Google. Let's see. Alright. Head 4 and 5 are options. Weapons 7, 8, and 9 are options. And yes, this is the two-handed option. I find the instructions interesting where it starts with 14 A, B, and C that are all building parts 25 and 26. And then it does build 15 and then shows the two-handed weapons on parts 1 and 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, okay. So that's interesting. Alright, so this one is Chosen of the Flesh. Huh. Well, I can build 2 of them, so one of them is going to be this way, and one of them is going to be using these. I'm just double checking the instructions real quick. You know, the whole measure twice, cut once thing exists even for models. So that makes the Shade Weaver? Okay. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 special options? 5 special options? No. Eh. Yep, okay. So out of this, I'm gonna build this one. And out of this, since I can choose, I like... Ooh. Hmm. So I know I like this head better. Yep. This and that. These can go somewhere else, over in that. So this is the one I'm going to build for this kit. This will be the option using the other 3 body parts. So there's a start. More tea. Alright, and it says to build the body and leg before the back panel. Yep. Okay. Alright. So, how is everyone lately? Yesterday, I played Necrons versus Imperial Knights. I had a 1500 point list. I went up against two larger knights. What is it? There was a Lancer and what is it? The larger than the Questoris, the Valiant or whatever, and two Warglaves and a Helverin. And I brought my two good Canoptic Doomstalkers and a Doomsday Arc, 2 units of 20 warriors with Plasmancer and Royal Warden, a Hexmark Destroyer, Gloctopus got to be in the game, 2 units of Deathmarks, and a unit of Flayed Ones. And Crusade again, so my Flayed Ones forward infiltrated to be, we were playing the polarizing mission or whatever, where you either get stealth or deal more mortal damage. Being that I'm Necrons, I don't really care about a single mortal so much. And I think we actually forgot about the stealth, but I don't think it would have made much difference. We both forgot about it the whole game, so it's not like it mattered much for the outcome. But turn 1, my army could not kill a knight, which is sad, but not surprising for my luck. But because I had my Flayed Ones up on front turn 1, I did score 20 points on turn 1, which was really fun because I needed every point I could get against knights, and playing against the mission, or playing for the mission, definitely gives you a better result. And he only scored 5 points for turn 1 because I had more than he did, which is crazy that you score 15 points for having more, so, in that mission. But my Flayed Ones did their job and scored me that extra 15 points on turn 1, and I'll continue to take them because I've found in the Crusade missions, early points matter, late points matter. Staying alive is important, and against knights, you gotta keep that going. So turn 1, I didn't kill any knights. I was hoping to, but I didn't. So I just repositioned, I advanced a bunch of things. Oh, and my Wraiths with Technomancer. That was also part of it. It's the same 1500 point list I've run for the last 2 or 3 weekends, so I'm getting more used to that list and what it can do. But anyway, I moved up, and his turn 1, he moved up, and I overwatched because Canoptic Doomstalkers are just amazing with Overwatch, except for when they roll 1s, but mine have both been updated, upgraded with weapon benefits, and they get a +1 damage, +1 attack. So I can't roll less than a 3 number of attacks with them. So something better there. So from there, I overwatched, and he moved his Lancer straight up into the middle of the board. And my flayed ones moved backwards because, you know, they had done their job. I knew they weren't going to survive very long, especially with a Lancer on the board. He shot and killed my Doomsday Arc, which didn't shock me at all. Turn 2. I scored 5 points. I deep struck in a unit of death marks to take an objective marker so that I had 3 in the center again, more than he did, and more than half, so my power matrix went off. And I killed one of the Warglaves and got his Lancer down to 1 wound. And based on the shooting, I was like, you know, I need to kill it. So I actually charged the unit of 20 warriors into the into the Knight Lancer, and they killed the Knight in melee. So that was great, and they took the center objective. The Wraiths took and charged one of the other Armiger. Well, his third one was on another objective. And in the next turn, he did not get to kill anything. I think he killed one of my... Yeah, his big thing with the Volcano Lance or whatever shot and killed the Doomstalker that was with the warriors on an objective. I had to keep the other one from being shot at. I didn't want to lose both. And since the warriors were still holding that objective, I was like, yep, that's the one that needs to go away. You know, sacrificial Doomstalker. It had killed something already, you know, it had killed a knight already, so that was good. And I'd already killed 2 of his knights at this point. So, you know, 1 large, 1 small. So I felt good about that. Losing the second of my big shooters wasn't surprising. And so the next round, my warriors charged the armature that the Wraiths were in combat with, and he pulled it because it was on like 1 wound, 2 wounds, and he was like, yep, the warriors got him. So those warriors had killed 2 knights in close combat now. And I shot and killed the third, the Helverin, with the Canoptic, and kept on moving up. And I deep struck my hex mark in the wrong spot. And my death mark, my other set of death marks in the back line. Still made sure I always held at least 3 of the objectives. And from there, he had 1 knight left. And so my where'd that go? Oh. Um, so the warriors that had killed 2 knights in melee decided it was a good idea to charge the last knight. So when I still had 3 objectives in the middle, I charged and held him up so he couldn't score more victory points or anything. So the overall score at the end of the game was 85 points to me and 25 points to him. And he was thrilled because that's only my second win for this crusade with my Necrons. And he was amazed at how much I was able to do against the Knights because I got massacred the first time we played in the first games. And it was a great feel to actually have a victory again. It's been weeks. So, and then the 9 units that I lost, not a single one of them rolled a battle scar. So that's even better. I just cut out the other body because I might as well do this as one of the other ones instead of getting all confused and doing 2 different models. But yeah, that was a really good game, and I was thrilled to actually have another victory. So, and yeah, the warriors that just went, hey, we killed 2 knights in close combat, let's charge another one. So that was thrilling. I wasn't expecting that, but that was cool. So yeah, and then I went and did a sealed event with the new magic set. And I went 0-2 in my first match, and I went 1-2 in my second match. And I dropped after that, but I found out later that my first opponent went first place overall, and my second opponent went 3rd place overall. So I don't think it was as bad as I thought it was for what I built. I hadn't even looked at the cards before the game. So I just went in and went, hey, you know, that looks like a good card, let's go with that. And even though I lost versus the 1st and 3rd place players, I don't think that really means much against my deck. One of my games, my second match, the second game of the first match, there we go, I drew 8 lands in a row out of my deck. So I don't think there was a way I was going to win that one anyway. But I did 18-26, 18 lands, 26 non-lands in a 44 card deck, so I didn't think it was that weird. But some interesting cards. I got a foil Fibblethip. I think I need to build a mono blue commander deck because of it. Don't know how it'll be, but it's a cool card, I guess. Having everything be capable of plot. So and yeah. I got home later and started working on basing some Legion models. Overall, yesterday was a really good day. And today I get to build some new models. So I know that my Drukhari isn't on the list of armies that I was hoping to get to 1,000 points this year from the beginning of the year. But with these Mandrakes and some other stuff that I have sitting around, I do actually think it fits in the 1,000 points plus. So yeah, it's technically in that group now. So what are you gonna do other than build some models, right? I don't think, looking at my lists and all of my plans, I don't know if I'll actually get to everything 1,000 points this year. I figured it was kind of a stretch goal to begin with all of the the different armies that I have and paint schemes and all that stuff. I only had 3 that had that many models painted, or maybe 4 at the start of the year. So, and basing models takes a little bit less time than painting up a whole army. So I can't say that I'll actually hit 1,000 points on every army. Still gonna try, but I'm also not going to not work on something that I'm looking forward to working on, like these. Like, this time could be used for one of the armies that need the work. Or, something like that. But these are new models, and they look cool. I'm going to work on orcs in October for another Orktober. I'm probably going to do 1,000 points of Beast Snagas. Or maybe something different. But 1,000 points of orcs in Orktober sounds like an amazing time. Had a huge blast last year, and looking forward again for this year. But that's 1,000 point army worth of models that I already have 1,000 points in the army, so that could be used for something different, but I'm gonna do orcs again. So I don't really feel that is a bad thing. Models being built are models being built. And with all the different armies that I have, I'm not that shocked that I might not get them all done in a single year. So beyond that, I do want to get as many models painted as I can to a standard I like. I'm not going to just randomly throw paint on models and call them done. But I have a couple of plans for the next couple of videos, and I think I know what I'm going to work on next week for the live stream. This box came out this week, and something new comes out next week. So that I already pre-ordered. So probably work on that. Let's see. Coming up on 100 videos published. That's pretty cool. Can't believe it's been that long. We're nearing a year and a half already. So I've done a lot of painting and building since I started this channel, which is great to see because that's one of the main reasons I started the channel. To get more things built and painted. Keep myself motivated. And it seems to be working since I'm here working on models. Alright, again, double check. Yes, this panel comes after these. So this panel after these. And then arms and then head. Okay. 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 Checking it out. This little spot right there goes in right there. Always test fit before you actually glue. These are way easier to clean than the orc boys were. Okay, what is the ha? Alright. Good evening. But yeah, these are way cleaner than the orc boys were. The Ludas. Hello! Alright, that arm goes this way. So these are the new mandrakes that came out in the last week for the Drukhari. And they used to be a fine cast kit, and I didn't own any, but now I own the plastic ones. And so just building up the first two. I have the other model right here already cleaned. This one has a two-handed sword, and this one has a sickle and flames. So oh, that just has a nice little square to glue into. That's cool. The difference between 2024 models and last week's, what was it, 2011? 2009? Something like that? With the Ludas. So, yeah. Quite a bit nicer with the modern sculpts. And then the head just has a little pill shape. I need to do something about the hairline, I guess. Oh, that's good. Yeah. First model glued up. These are going to be fun to paint. Don't know when I'll get to that, but I already have a color scheme in mind. I'm not going to go with the green flames that the box shows, just because my Drukhari army isn't going to have green as a primary color. So there we go. I figured it could scan. It should be able to stand. So yeah, this is 6 pieces, and they go together pretty quick. Yep. Yeah. But yeah, let's see. How have you been? I've also found I'm faster at building using the plastic glue than I was when I was using super glue. I don't have to worry about getting it on my fingers as much. That's probably a big reason for that being a good thing. Alright, so if I put this down, will the other one be easier from there? I think so. Alright. These models are so much thinner than orcs. Orcs and Space Marines are so chunky compared to these. I mean, this is a firstborn Space Marine. Like, these guys are chunky, these guys are so thin, and these are so small compared to the Primaris. So, which I think is a good thing, that there's different scales for them, because Space Marines are supposed to be big and chunky. Yeah, and it also seems to not break as easy. The plastic glue models don't fall apart when I'm transporting them. They take a little bit longer to dry sometimes, because they're actually melting the plastic, and that needs to reseal. But being that it actually is melting the plastic, you get a much stronger bond. So like, I don't expect that piece to ever come apart, being that it's melting itself together. It is going to be fun to try to paint their heads, though. Well, that's the thing. This is plastic glue, so it's much harder to glue yourself to it. You technically would need to melt the plastic enough that the plastic itself tries to stick to you. So, but yeah. 2 down! They're already faster than the orcs. And I'm taking my time. Alright, next one. This has parts 14, 15, and 13. So, I need to go back to my reference pictures. 13, 14, 15 have 2 head options. Ooh. Where? Whoa, wait. Alright. So this says that 13, 14, 15 can use either 2 heads, 2 swords, 20 and 21, or you can use 22, 23, 24. Okay. That makes sense, right? Yeah. Alright. So 13, 14, 15 comes out. Okay, 13, 14, 15. 20 and 21 go together for the regular guy. Okay. And then 18 or 19, I'm going to go with the smooth knife over the jagged. Yeah, they have two different options. One has a mouth showing, and one doesn't. So here's 15. Come on, focus, maybe? Yeah, it doesn't want to focus. Anyway. And well, okay. 17 has hair in front. And I think I like the hair better. Alright, so body, head, arms. Okay. And then the one that has the other weapon, the other option, has head 22, which also has a whole bunch of hair and a top knot. And 21, 22, or no, 23, 24, that's what it was. So 23 is somewhere on here. Oh, the wing. I was like, yes, the wing. Let's do the wing. And then I forget what the wing is. Okay. Okay. And 24 is this weapon option. Okay. And that was 13, 14, 15. So how's everyone doing today? Done any cool crafting or anything lately? There we go. Since there's just two pieces on this sprue, I'm gonna snip them off and put them in the bits area. Never know when you might need some of these model bits for later. The extra options. And then a new sprue. Ah, which avatar? And I haven't crocheted in a while. And I know Hi. I'm keeping this out of the shot just so you can see better what I'm doing if I'm holding my hand up that way. So, tea time. But yeah, I haven't crocheted in a long while. Ah, animated Avatar. Yeah, the good one. No, the new Netflix live action isn't bad. Um, the animated one is definitely a much better storyline, though. It just feels better. So how far in are you? I don't want to spoil anything. I find crocheting is really relaxing when watching movies and TV and stuff. I just haven't really sat down and binged anything recently enough to want to do any crochet patterns or anything. Most of the time I'm working on models or reading lately. Ah, okay. You've got so many good scenes coming up. The first couple of episodes are probably the weakest, and they're still not bad. So it only goes up. I mean, season one doesn't even have Toph. I mean, yeah, there aren't very many shows that I can name where they had a good line going through the whole thing, and it's just really good storytelling. But it's up there with Firefly for me as far as really good stories. So, welcome, Angel of Death. How's it going? Organizing is good. I've actually been thinking I need to organize some of my stuff again. It's getting a little bit cluttered again, but I've been trying to get some projects done, and it's nice to reset every couple of weeks or months between projects, and I want to get a couple more projects done before I reset and organize. So it's nice to see where what you've gotten done, and be able to clean up and just be in that position for that next jumping off point. Yeah, these models clean up so much easier than last week's orcs. Like, I just cleaned up 2 little nibs, and that whole piece is clean. Compared to the mold lines that I had to scrape and scrape and scrape on the other ones. Ah. I mean, this guy's ears are smaller than some of the mold lines I had on the orcs. Well, yes. That's true. Being unorganized can be very easy. It has to be an active thing to stay organized. It's actually one of the reasons why I think it's time for another reset, because I was trying to find the desert sand texture paint for these guys, and it took me way longer than it should have to find it in my studio. Like, I knew where they should have been, but I couldn't find it. So I kind of figured, that's a good sign that it's time for another reset and organizational, moment. I did find it. I'm almost done with them. So yeah, I found it though. I found it. Hey. Does this wrap around? Aha, it does. That's cool. Okay. I haven't actually looked at any of the pictures from these since the reveals, and I was just like, "Yep, I'm getting some." So, oh no, mold lines in a different spot. Oh well. Yeah, I found it. That's the important part. I went a little bit light on it at first, so I had to do a second coat of texture paint. And so after the stream, I'll probably clean up the base rims with black and put on a couple of tufts. Then they'll be done. Add to my pile of completed models this year, which feels really good. I will say, minor spoiler, not actual number, but I am further along this year than I thought I would be. And it's definitely higher than what I did last year. And if you remember my end of year video, I did a full table full of stuff last year, so to feel that way about it already, it's just, yeah. So I'm pretty happy with my painting for the year already. Hope to keep it up. But you know, as the weather gets nicer, the more I want to go hiking. And I can't really paint and hike at the same time. I could hike somewhere and then paint. Might do that sometime. But I can't, I'm not gonna hike and paint at the same time. I don't want to trip on anything. I mean, I've done a couple of videos about going on hikes. I went and, oh, what were they? I showed, the Champion Trails in Jasper, and I did a hike on the BMT last year. I try to do 2 or 3 hikes every year, I think, probably for videos. I think that's a good change of pace, not model related, but I don't want to overdo the videos that are not models. Just like how I think I've done 6 or 7 videos on making chainmail, shirt, you know, a dice bag and some jewelry and stuff like that. I don't want to overdo it on the channel, but a little bit here and there is good. Oh, camping's cool. That's great. But yeah, I like having a few alternate things here and there, but this is, I mean, it's a hobby channel, so if it's one of my hobbies, I will occasionally make a video of it. But I know a lot of people are here mostly for the models, so I'm going to keep mostly the models as the focus and just do an occasional video on the other things. Yeah. Yeah. I think variance is also nice if you can get inspiration for other hobbies through the hobbies that you enjoy. So, like, when I go hiking in the summer, it's totally different than hiking in the winter or fall or whatever. And seeing the different colors that are out there, and, you can get some cool concepts and ideas, and I think it's cool. And just enjoying the fresh air. I mean, as someone working on models, I'm almost always just sitting in the room. And sometimes it's fun to just go for a hike. It's also nice that I live, within a 2 hour location of a whole bunch of hiking trails. So, yeah. I have some ideas for videos and streams in the future, and I'm looking forward to a lot of them. Um, so just like I said about these came out, I was able to pick them up this weekend, and next weekend's going to be another item that comes out next weekend. Um, Looking forward to that. And I have a couple of ideas for, like, I think I might do a live stream where I'm just working on a piece of mail or something. And if everything goes right, when Age of Sigmar 4.0 comes out, I think I might stream every day until I build all of them, and maybe even do some painting after that. I don't know how frequently I'll be able to stream that. I mean, they still haven't released the day or even the week that it'll be coming out, so I don't know exactly what my schedule will look like, but I think I want to do some during the day streams and go longer later, maybe do some earlier ones, and just see how long it takes me to get through building everything in a box and maybe painting up the Skaven. Just, I have the majority of my Leviathan boxes are still only primed. I've painted a few models, but not much. And I think I want to do the Sigmar. I mean, I was in the middle of a move at the time, so I don't expect it to be as busy this time. I should be able to take the time to do that, but I just think it would be really fun. Yeah. I'm not gonna do like a 24-hour challenge or anything like that because I like my sleep a little bit too much for that. But maybe I'll try to do somewhere between 2 and 4 hours a day until it's done for a week or something like that. I don't know. We can see. I need to know what week it'll be first, but I think that would be really cool. And having a box of models done that fast would be really cool. It also means I'd have to cut pretty much everything else out of my plans. So if I have a huge project going already, that'd be kind of hard. But I think it would be cool to do something like that. I haven't done anything huge, and okay, so that goes in that way. That's weird. Okay, I'm gonna make sure that you glue this leg on before you glue the back on, because I don't want to do it wrong. Yeah, it says do this part and then the other part. Okay. Oh, okay. It doesn't snap, but it sits properly in here. Okay. Okay. But yeah, I think something like that would be cool if I can set aside enough time for it. Stuff like that. Something I want to start doing some more bigger things like that. Um, okay. This wing goes does it go? Does it go up in the air? Let's see if this arm helps. Always test fit first, before glue. Okay, so that goes there. Oh, let's see if I can get that in the light. Okay, so that sits there. So I'm going to glue that in, and then I'll see where the other one goes. Okay. So this cape thing goes together here. So the arm is definitely upward in nature. Okay, come on. There. That's how it sits. Alright. Now to see if I can get that lined up again. Alright. Slight pressure. I want to get it to melt together, but not make a mess. Alright. It's going to be interesting painting these. I'm definitely not going to glue them to the base yet, because trying to get up if there's a base isn't going to be easy. Do you not want to stand? No. Balance point's just a little bit forward on them. Alright, let's see. I really enjoy the way that this just lines up and makes a little groove that you need to glue into. I mean, I don't have anywhere near as many options for kit bashing with a seam like this, but as far as just building goes, this is so much easier. I mean, they're, what, 6 pieces each? This one has the 7th piece just because the arm is the way it is, but they just go right together and line up, slot in. I mean, alright, this goes, haha, yeah. Come on. Campaign collab with Cowboy Bebop? That sounds interesting. So yeah, this is the same bit attachment as this one, but the arm is positioned differently. And because of it, it looks like a whole different model. Even though it has the same exact midpoint, you know, the whole middle line is the same. Just because it has wing, you know, big cloak wing instead of a sword. So, that's pretty cool. Come on, go in. There we go. So what exactly is MTG going to do? Like, huh, okay. That's pretty cool. Oh, I didn't put enough glue on that one. I didn't hold it in place long enough. It's interesting. I think it's really cool that Magic has had a chance to explore alternate, well, universes beyond, right? It's pretty cool. Like, to take something that is out there already and just be like, hey, you know, let's do some magic stuff with that. I'll have to look into it. So anyway, yeah. In the previous video, it took me over 2 hours to do 3 models. That goes to show how long it takes to build the orcs, because I just built 4 mandrakes in an hour and a half. So I could continue on. I mean, there are technically 6 more to build, but I don't know. What do you think? Should I keep on going, or should I call it? When it comes to building, I don't mind stopping in the middle. When I start painting something, I like to just keep on going until I can't go anymore. But I do have these guys just waiting to be finished basing. They're just sitting there going, finish the black rim, please. And then a couple of them need to get tufts. So I think I might work on that instead of finishing up the other 6 mandrakes. Especially since technically I have a total of 4 Drukhari models built now. These were my first. But yeah, I'm thinking I might call the building and you know what? I'll keep the stream going, but I'm gonna change over to painting the finishing up the bases. We'll go with that. That sound like a plan? Yeah. And yeah, I had a little bit of extra sand texture, so I just tossed it on a couple more models. I still have a little tea left. Okay. Yeah. If you're in the Discord, I'll send a picture of these guys so you don't have the shadows as much. And I'll take a picture of these guys, the Legion, as well at the end. Man, these guys look cool. I look forward to playing with these. Same with these. So my goal, what I was thinking, is I have 2 squads here, and no, I got plenty. I got some sips here still. But what I'm thinking is these are big, so they get tufts. And these are the leaders for the regular units, so they get tufts. And these are the weapon options that you add point-wise, so they get tufts. And then these stormtroopers, being that they're just the regular stormtroopers that follow these guys, they're not going to get tufts. That's what I'm thinking. I'm actually going to zoom back in. There we go. A little bit of lighting. They're pretty bright. Little bit of shadow in the, shading and everything. I did a wash and then a highlight to bring them back up a little bit. That's an interesting collab. Let's see. Need to clean up a little bit of the desk. But anyway, yeah, since the point values, these are the things that you pay for points, and these are just the guys that follow the leaders. So I'm gonna make it so that each of the things that cost points have a tuft. And the speeder bikes are probably gonna get 2. So I think I'll actually start with the tufts. Because it'll be easier to do the edging with a tuft on the base instead of a wet base. So a little bit of super glue. Oh, I'm not in frame. Because I zoomed back in. Let me get these moved. So, take a tuft off of the thing, toss a little bit of super glue on it, and then just push it down. You can use tweezers, or if you have slightly longer nails, you don't have to. Because you don't want it to just look like you flattened it. But yeah, just a little tuft. Make it so the desert's not 100% barren. And I actually left a little mark where the shooting arcs go. I might go through and clean that up and maybe put like little rock piles there or something, but I haven't really decided yet, so I'd rather just make sure you can see where those are instead of making the base better to start. Oh, I just pulled that off to the side again. I had considered doing different types of basing for my troops, because I do have some snow troopers that I picked up, and a couple of other units that might not work as well on a desert base, but I would rather have consistency across the army than consistency for the particular unit. And a non-cohesive look for the army. So, but yeah, it just a few little tufts, and it just looks so much more complete. kind of funny how just a few tufts can make that much difference. And those are just waiting for the black rim. This guy's gonna get 2 little tufts. And all of a sudden I've decided, because the stormtroopers look exactly the same, since I did this guy with 1, and this guy with 1, and this guy with 2, this guy will have 2. And so I'll do 1 and 2. And then I'll know which one has 2 and which one has 1. And the extra guys are just there, so... all of a sudden, I just make a plan for which one's which, right? Oh, one of the other things I did, I made it so that his foot has some sand on it. That's not focusing for me, but yeah. All right. So that was the tufts. Again, this is why I was like, yeah, I could keep building, but they've been just looking at me going, I want to get done. Like, that's already all the super glue I needed to do. I can tell that there's a little bit of extra glare. But... Alright, that might be more than enough paint, but it's apple barrel. I don't need to worry so much about how much I'm using. And a decent sized brush. Whoa! Yeah. That was loud. Loud ringtone is loud. Yeah, just cleaning up the edge can make it look so much cleaner. I guess that redundancy right there. Cleaning up and cleaning, right? It makes it look a lot better. Might have to come back and do a second coat after this dries, but... And I also need to take... Oops. Okay. Bumped something. Take a little piece of this parchment, and that way, if I get any paint on the rim, I don't get it on the desk. If you look right here, you can see that I didn't think about that the first time I did it. Which isn't really a problem, it just adds character to the desk. It also means that I can err on the side of inside the base instead of on top of it. Yeah, just the difference between having a guy without the black base rim and the ones that do, they just look so much better. And it's a few seconds of painting. I try to do that with all of my 40K models as well. And yeah, I'm not getting a full coverage. There's a little bit of a mark right there, so I'll probably have to go through and do a second coat. But this is technically just the single starter box for Legion for the Empire. I still have the other half, the Rebels, to do. I have the other 2 boxes still to build and paint. And all of the specialty stuff that I have, all the extra units. So this is a quarter. No, not even a quarter. An eighth of my Legion models. And it'll be pretty much the first ones that I have actually done. So I got a ways to go. But it's always nice to have a nice start. It helps motivate to get more of them done. But yeah, start building, a new unit, finish off another unit with the basing, all in a single night, right? It's one of the reasons I like having so many projects available. I can finish one off, I can see progress in the building, I can prime or paint something while I'm working on building something else. Just feels nice. Alright, that's the infantry. Now I just have the 2 bikes to go. Something I like about the Legion movement is that they have little things that go around the base on the infantry, and they have the same cutouts in here. It's kind of fun. Changes up how they move, because the base is bigger, but that's how vehicles move faster. So... yeah, last model. I hope you enjoyed the video, live stream, you know. I love making projects be complete, or even just getting started on them. It's always nice to have a few hours each week where I just sit and work on stuff. But yeah. I hope you enjoyed the video. Keep on organizing, Angel. And I'm looking forward to some of the upcoming videos. So... until then, I hope you find your bit of bliss.